Welcome to Nkumat Online Academy. Today we want to look at what we call central tendency in statistics. Central tendency is talking about mean, median, and mode. They are the statistical terms that help us to find a data or the location of a data in a given data set. The location of a data in a particular data set. That is what we call a central tendency. Now we are going to start with mean. A mean of a data set is gotten when we add the numbers and then divide it. When we add the data together and divide it by the total number of occurrence for them, or we can also say that a mean is the sum of all the items in a set of data or data set divided by the number of items in the data set. Now let us assume that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 as a data set. Each value here is a data. When we combine them together, we call it a data set. Now, to get the mean, we add all these numbers together and then divide it by the total number of occurrence of the numbers. So we are going to say 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. Now the occurrence is we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4. So they occur 4 times. So we have 4 values we are working with. You are dividing by the number of values you are working with. We are working with 4 values. 1 is a value or a data, 2 is another value, 3 is another value, and 4 is another value. So adding values together and divide it by the occurrence of the values of the total number of values you are working with, which is here 4. So the mean here is equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. And 6 plus 4 is 10. So we have 10 over 4. We have 10 over 4, which is 2.5. 2.5 or 2.5. 2.5. So the mean here is 2.5. Now we have a formula actually for getting the mean of a number. If we assume that if we represent the values with, let's say, x values, we have the first value as x1. Instead of writing 1, we write x1, x2, x3, x4, it may continue to, let's say, x of any number. Let's call it xn. Now, This is an algebraic representation of the numbers or the values. We can use a formula to get the value of the mean if the values or if the numbers given to us or the data set is large. If the data set given to us is large, we'll use this formula. Mean, we represent mean by this x, big X, and then we cross it at the top. We call it x bar. So mean is equal to sigma x all over n. Sigma x all over n. Now, what this means is x means sigma x means the total number of the values. That is when you add this one plus this one plus this one plus this one to the last number there, we call it sigma x. Then n means the total numbers that we are adding. That is this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, or if it is 5, the number of occurrence of the number is n. Now, let us solve the last example again using this formula. Let's say that the data set again is the data set again is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, remember that our formula is x bar, which is mean. Mean is equal to sigma f sigma x all over n. Now this is equal to the total number of x is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. This gives us 10, like we got before. Then the total number of occurrence of each, or the total number of values we are adding is 1. 1 is a value here, 2 is another value here, 3 is another value here, 4 is another value. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So n is 4 and sigma x is 10, so which is also 2.5. Now, if we have a very big data set and we know the frequency, maybe where one is occurring more than one, you see that we are going to be recording the frequency of each. For instance, if we have 1, 1, 2, if we have this kind of numbers, now we see that each value is occurring more than one. In a situation where each value is occurring more than one, we use another formula. The formula is mean, or x bar, is equal to sigma fx all over sigma f. sigma fx all over sigma f. In this case, you see that each number is occurring just one time. 1 has only 1, 2 only 1, 3 only 1, 4 only 1. But here we have 1 is coming 2 times, 2 is coming 2 times, and 3 is coming 2 times. Let's say that you also have 4, and maybe 4 is coming just 1 time. So we see that each of the numbers, or most of the numbers, are occurring more than once. If a number is occurring more than one, or if the data set, the data there or the values there are occurring more than once, then we are going to be talking about frequency. The frequency means the number of occurrence of the numbers. So we are going to use it in calculating the mean. So to do that, we calculate sigma fx. Sigma fx means the total number of occurrence of the frequency of the values. The total number of occurrence of the frequency of the values. Then yf is the total frequency. So here, for instance, this one now, if you have this value now and we want to use this formula to solve it, now our fx, sigma fx, and fx, we can get it by drawing a table. So when we have the numbers occurring many times, we are going to draw our frequency table. So we have x, f, we have 1, it is coming 2 times the frequency. We have 2, it is coming 2 times. We have 3, it is coming 2 times. We have 4, it is coming 1 time. Now our sigma fx, now to get our fx means f times x. So we are going to draw another column. Fx, let's call it fx. Now that means we use what is here and times what is here, use what is here and times what is here, use what is here and times what is here, and use what is here and times what is here. Now that is going to give us 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 2 is 6, 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 1 is 4. Now to get sigma fx means all the fx, that is, add them, sum. Sigma means sum, summation. It means summation of fx, that is, you should add everything in the fx. And sigma f, summation of x, means you should add everything in the f. So sigma fx means we add these 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 4. 2 plus 4 is 6, 6 plus 6 is 12, 12 plus 4 is 18, 12 plus 4 is 16. So sigma fx is 16. Now sigma f this one means we sum everything that is under f, so which is 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1. 2 plus 2 is 4, 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 plus 1 is 7, is equal to 7. Sigma f is equal to 7. So it now means that our mean, which is equal to sigma fx over sigma f, is equal to 16 over 7. 16 over 7, whatever we get when we divide this is the mean. So this is how to find the mean when we have the values occurring many times. That is, we can derive a frequency table from it. We get frequency table when the values are occurring more than once. It is necessary for us to draw frequency table when the values are occurring more than once. But when the values are just 1, we can just solve direct by adding the numbers together and dividing by the total number of occurrence of the values. So these two formulas, you should also know them, and then the first way of solving it, sigma fx all over sigma f and sigma x all over n. So this is basically how to solve mean for ungrouped data. Ungrouped data. In our last lesson, we talked about grouped data and ungrouped data and other things we discussed. So this one is when the data set is not grouped, for ungrouped data. Now for grouped data, or when we join data together, we have another way of calculating it, and which is what we are going to discuss in the next lesson. Thank you. Now your assignments. We have this data. Now find the mean of these data sets: 2, 8, 10, 15, 4, 4, 8, 6, 4, 10, 10, 10, 13, 2, 13, 2, 13, 14, 2, 13. So you know the one you are going to solve through direct method, and then you know the one you are going to solve using sigma. This first one, I want you to solve it using direct method, then you solve it using sigma x over sigma n over n. Then this one you solve it using the second formula. This one you solve directly and also solve using a formula, and then this one you solve using the second formula. Thank you.